Man, we've talked about a lot today. What's one thing we haven't talked about that gets you excited or fired up?
And I again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but for me, the people, they have made my life so much better and so much wealthier in my time to be able to take care of a lot of these day-to-day tasks and take it upon themselves to make decisions that are important for the company. And I can be confident when I'm not as present as I used to be that they're going to do the right things for us. I'm also excited about the automation equipment that not only we have that we keep adding. It increases our output, it increases our accuracy. And for a company like us who is privately held and individually solely owned, we are really toward the cutting edge of technology for what we have in our shop.
This episode is brought to you by 10x Nerds. If you're a business owner doing real revenue, there's a good chance you're overpaying in areas you haven't even looked at. Things like credit card processing, insurance, telecom, and more. 10x Nerds comes in, audits your expenses across 30 plus categories, and finds immediate savings. And here's the kicker: they only get paid if they save you money. It's a complete no brainer. If you want to keep more of what you make, go check them out at 10xnerds.com. This episode is brought to you by Rakowski Law Firm. If you're a business owner or have built a level of wealth, but you don't have your estate plan dialed in, you're exposed. Rakowski Law Firm helps families and business owners protect their assets, avoid probate, and make sure everything transfers exactly how it should. This isn't just paperwork, it's a real strategy to protect your legacy. If you haven't looked at your plan in a while or don't have one, go to rakowskilawfirm.com.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Builder's Bible. I'm joined by Brandon Nix. He is the president and CEO of Beco Metalworks. He is in the DFW area. Brandon, I've never had a metalworks company owner on my podcast, so I actually have no idea what that entails. So I'm excited to kind of pick your brain about it. Tell us about the company, man.
Yeah, so you say metalworks, we're actually a structural steel fabricator here based in
Oh,
DFW area. Yeah, so we build commercial structures, schools, churches, retail centers, mid-rise buildings, pretty much anything that you can think of that involves a building structure.
yeah. What are the chances you know my friend Mel Soto with Soto Structural Steel? He's also in that area.
He's in DFW?
Yeah, he is. I don't know. I didn't know if it was like a small industry or not. No clue.
No, I know most of the major players, but after this, be sure and send me his contact. I'd like to reach out to him and have a good network of us that work together.
Well, it looks like you've been at this for quite a while since 2006. Tell us about the company now and kind of where it is in terms of size and scale.
Yeah, so right now we will do between 50 and 60 million dollars this year. As far as actual payroll employees, we have about 100 employees, but we also subcontract a lot of work. We subcontract out to three or four other shops, plus all of our field erection forces. We keep a couple to a few hundred bodies busy at any given time.
This episode is brought to you by my friend Silas Lagoy over at ForgeMark Wealth. If you're a high income business owner or professional and feel like you're getting crushed by taxes, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not stuck. ForgeMark Wealth specializes in advanced legal tax strategies and wealth planning designed to help you keep more of what you make, grow it efficiently, and actually build long term freedom, not just income. If you're making serious money but don't have a real strategy behind it yet, I highly recommend connecting with Silas and his team.
What's up, everybody? This episode is sponsored by ExitWise. If you're a business owner thinking about selling your company, whether that's now or years down the road, you need to know what your business is actually worth and how to maximize that exit. That's exactly what ExitWise does. They help you prepare, position, and ultimately sell your business by assembling a world-class team of M&A experts around you, guiding you from valuation all the way through closing. If you want to know what your business is really worth and how to increase that number before you sell, go check out exitwise.com and get ahead of it. Where is most of the business you mentioned? Is it actually standing up the actual structures for the buildings? Is it working on primarily commercial projects like that?
Yeah, it's all commercial. I mean, very, very seldom will we do like say a very large custom homes sometimes, these multi-million dollar, mansion type things. But no, most of what we're doing these days, because of the public money market right now with interest rates how they are, is a little bit weak. So we do a lot of schools, city halls, fire stations, public bond money, things like that. Um, there is a diversity of other things that we do too. Anything from parks to some one-off fabrication for industrial type things, but primarily I'd say it's a conventional structural commercial job.
So interesting, man. How did you get into the space? Do you have a background in construction, engineering? How did you wind up in the steel space?
Yeah, so my grandfather was a general contractor for many decades, and he basically carried our whole family, my dad and uncles and all of us. And when he retired, the company didn't last very long thereafter, and I was in my, early to mid 20s and tried to figure out something to do and found a passion with metalworking and never dreamed that it would scale like it has. We just started out doing small, architectural projects and miscellaneous work. And throughout the years, we've grown and built other shops and reinvested, and it's wound up here 20 years later.
This episode is brought to you by Blue Collar Business Advisors. If you're running an HVAC, plumbing, electrical, or landscaping, or any other type of home service business and wondering where all the money is going despite growing your revenue, you need to talk to Paul Maskill. Paul has scaled and sold multiple blue collar businesses and now helps business owners improve cash flow, profitability, and financial clarity through outsourced CFO services. His clients gain a better understanding of their numbers, build predictable profits, and create a business that supports the life they actually want. One of the things I appreciate most about Paul is he's not just a finance guy. He's been in the trenches as an owner. He understands the challenges of running blue collar businesses because he's done it himself. If you're doing a few $1,000,000 a year in revenue and want to stop guessing at your numbers and start building real wealth, head over to bluecollaradvisors.com. That's thebluecollaradvisors.com and schedule a discovery call with Paul and his team. Blue Collar Business Advisors, helping blue collar business owners build financially healthy companies and achieve permanent profitability.
This episode is brought to you by Corberry Digital. If you own an HVAC, plumbing, electrical, roofing, or home service business and you're tired of wondering where your next lead is coming from, you need to check out Corberry Digital. Corberry specializes exclusively in helping home service companies dominate their local markets through SEO, Google Ads, local service ads, websites, content marketing, and lead generation systems that actually produce a measurable ROI. Their team doesn't just focus on clicks and impressions. They help contractors lower customer acquisition costs, increase qualified leads, and build a marketing engine that scales. What I like about Corberry is they understand the blue collar space. They aren't trying to be everything to everyone. Their entire focus is helping trades businesses win in their backyard and generate more profitable jobs. If you're looking to grow your business, improve your online visibility, and build a marketing system that works, visit Corberry.com and schedule a strategy session with their team. That's Corberry.com. Tell them you heard about them on the podcast.
I suppose, what are some of the challenges that you face now that you probably didn't face when you first started the company? Is it skilled labor? Is it leads? What are some of the biggest challenges you guys face right now?
Yeah, I mean, sales is always a thing, right? I mean, any business to sustain your workflow and closing jobs is always a thing for sure. Um, willing, I wouldn't even say skilled labor. I'd say willing labor is probably one of the biggest challenges. People that just want to come work and even learn. Oftentimes you get told it's too long, it's too hard, it's too whatever. It pays pretty well even to start. And once these people develop skills, they're compensated even better than that. But we have a lot of people that show up dressed like they're not pursuing a job, but they're not really interested, and it is becoming harder and harder to get labor, and that's why companies like ours and many others are reinvesting in automation because you don't have a choice. Robotics is heading that way. It's not that everyone's going to get replaced, but the people that we can't hire have to.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just manifest people out of thin air, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is the volatility of our market. So, steel is a commodity-based thing, and right now it's not something that would touch, many of your people, but so like all these AI data centers they're building, right? They gobble up thousands of tons per project, and there's so many going on simultaneously that they are, taking up 30 to 50% of any given time of mill capacity. So it's making availability of material difficult. And also pricing, as you would expect, is inflated at times. So I would say
Does,
those two things is materials and labor.
does that make it hard for you to convey to the client why the project is so much more expensive than they anticipated?
It can be sometimes, but we get what's called mill notification letters. We pass those on. There's documentation that show it. But they definitely get frustrated. Like in the last few months, we have to invalidate quotes very quickly. Sometimes they're only valid for a matter of a handful of days, where historically you'd honor a quote for 30 days, but we've all had to adopt a clause that says, we have the right to invalidate a quote at any time.
Hmm.
We might get price increases on a Friday that hit us on Monday for, several percentage points. And on these big jobs, that's not a small number.
Does it ever go the opposite way, or is it only pretty much going up?
No, it softens. It's obviously relegated by what demand is, but right now demand is so high that it just keeps incrementally climbing,
Yeah,
and there's no relief in sight with all these mega centers getting built. And
yeah.
and two and two, so you're aware, part of this is also the border wall. They've ramped up construction back on that, so that's also a pretty good hit in the market that isn't historically there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I haven't thought deeply about steel, but I guess that all makes sense. And with the data centers, I guess that there's a lot of steel going into just the structure that houses all of the technology inside of it.
Yeah, they build these buildings very heavy nowadays, be it storm resistant, or a lot of it goes into future retrofitting. They're overbuilding them for whatever changes are in the future rather than having to modify an inferior or lighter structure.
Yeah.
But yes, they're built incredibly heavy for what they are.
This episode is brought to you by Jonathan Keim and the teams at 360 Commercial Roofing and Top Roof Marketing. If you own or manage commercial property, or you're a roofing contractor looking to grow, Jonathan has spent more than a decade helping businesses protect their buildings and scale through proven commercial roofing and marketing systems. His companies specialize in commercial roofing solutions, roof asset management, and marketing built specifically for the roofing industry. Whether you need a trusted commercial roofing partner or want to generate more qualified roofing leads, check out 360 Commercial Roofing or Top Roof Marketing. You can go to www.360, like 360, commercialroofing.com, and Top Roof Marketing, www.toproofmarketing.com. Now let's get into today's episode.
What's going really well with your business right now? What's something you're really happy about?
Oh, I'm happy about the people for sure. People make everything go around in any business, and I think a lot of business owners underplay that, undervalue that. Everything from the leadership down to the labor on the ground that we have is phenomenal. Everyone lifts us up. We try in turn and lift them up and have truly what you would consider to be more of a family type environment. It's not a big business micromanaged scenario.
Yeah.
I can just answer that question as quickly and easily as that. It's just the people.
What are you doing to retain some of your better staff? I think every blue collar guy is wrestling to hire and maintain skilled labor. Have you found any tricks of either culture, incentives, any sort of way to keep the skilled guys around?
Yeah, I mean, it's a balance for sure. Trying to stay up with market wages certainly is the obvious answer there first, but culture is a huge thing. It's something that I'm gonna back up just real quick. So in my early 20s, I was a project manager slash sales manager for a modular building company. And between the time I worked for my grandfather and started my business, and that owner of that company was mean to his employees. He was rude, he was terse, he was all the things. And at that time I said to myself, I wanted to have a company and I never wanted to treat people how he treated us.
Hmm.
And as long as you have a good culture and you value people that work for you, and you try and take care of them materially and monetarily, of course, too, it's a big deal. And when the vibe and the culture of the shop shifts, they know. And we try and correct it. We try to lift them up. We try and cater lunches. We try and do giveaways and just things that are unique to us that you don't typically see in these larger shops.
Hmm. Yeah, I know that it seems to be the constant battle, but it's interesting. Every so often, I come across an owner who's like, "Yeah, it's not a problem for us at all." I'm like, "Well, what are you doing differently?" So it sounds like it just can be, it just varies based on the types of jobs. It varies based on the location. But it's like probably the number one pain point that I found in the blue collar space. So I'm always interested to hear how people are actually approaching that problem.
Yeah, and people want to be appreciated is one thing. They want to
Yeah.
just be told they're doing a good job, they're a good person, they're trying hard, they want to be acknowledged. And I think what happens in these larger scale companies is the individual gets lost in the peri of too many bodies. And
Yeah.
sometimes just taking 5 minutes and just asking, how's your day, how's your family, and we appreciate you goes a long way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good word. Let's talk about AI for a second. How are you guys integrating AI into your business?
AI, as of right now, is not really directly rooted in what we're doing day to day. Of course, it works on the back end of a lot of our software that we use to manage our workflow and the company in general. The big thing that we're waiting on is there are a lot of AI estimating software out there, which are really more in a beta version that we've tested, and they're not ready yet. They're more functioning in the two-dimensional space than the three-dimensional, but yeah, it's in a tertiary way. Yes, AI has some presence, but not exactly for us day to day yet.
Yeah. But is that where the area that you're kind of ready for it to take off is with your takeoffs, not to do a play on words. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. And they demoed a few different ones, but you with details and sections and things that you have to compare, to two-dimensional views and then basically be able to extrude the profile of a building. The learning is not there yet. Now, again, I'm sure that they'll get there 6 to 12 months, whatever it is, maybe more. But it's not viable for what we do yet.
How many estimators do you have, and how long does it typically take to estimate the scope of work on a project?
So we have four estimators, and then along the way, when you're doing ads and change orders, we have about half a dozen project managers that they will do their own little estimates and changes for change proposals along the way. Size of the job for an average for what we do is probably 3 to 4 days. Some they can do in a day, some it takes them a week and a half.
Yeah.
But our average contract size, as you scale and as you grow, your average contract has to grow as well.
Yeah.
So we still bid quite a bit of work. Takeoffs take a little longer, and of course, just the pool of the size of contractor and competition and thing, it goes up with your growth.
Yeah. Man, we've talked about a lot today. What's one thing we haven't talked about that gets you excited or fired up?
And I again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but for me, the people, they have made my life so much better and so much wealthier in my time, to be able to take care of a lot of these day-to-day tasks and take it upon themselves to make decisions that are important for the company. And I can be confident when I'm not as present as I used to be, that they're going to do the right things for us. Um, I'm also excited about the automation equipment that not only we have, that we keep adding. It increases our output, it increases our accuracy, and for a company like us who is privately held and individually solely owned, we are really toward the cutting edge of technology for what we have in our shop.
Yeah, I love that. Well, where can people learn more about your business if they want to learn more?
They can go to becometalworks.com. Right now, we're actually revamping the website. It's not a great representation of who we are yet, but there's a big marketing campaign and push to get our image up in that space.
Yeah, I love that. Well, Brandon, can't thank you enough for coming on the podcast. Don't go anywhere because I want to keep talking, but thanks so much for coming on the show.
I appreciate it. Thank you.